Webheads, when it comes to next week's comics, there are a ton of annuals getting ready to come out. I'm only buying one or two of those. So what else am I going to pick up? Well, let's find out. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions of what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I am bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comic books for December 1st, 2021. Guys, we're heading into the month of December, which means Christmas time. That's right, guys. So hopefully you guys are getting prepared for that. And guys, let me just tell you, this comic book week has a ton of annuals and very expensive books. So I am passing up a lot of books this particular week because I'm not paying $6 per book, $10 per book. There's maybe one or two there. So I went digging and finding out what else is out there besides those comics. So guys, hopefully this list helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And of course, guys, if you want to help support the channel, go ahead and hit that button right there on my home screen. It does make you a member of the channel. It gives you extra perks for yourself. And guys, thank you so much. All right, everyone. So let's get started with this week's hot seat book. That's right, guys. On the hot seat goes to Avengers issue 50. This is World War She-Hulk. This is the conclusion to this book, guys. And let me just tell you, I have not really enjoyed this, but some people have, and some people said, like, this is the best that Jason Aaron has put out. Not saying that it's really that great, but it's the best of the best so far. I have kind of read it, but I have not really enjoyed it. But when it comes to this 750th issue, if you're following legacy numbering, this, I think, is going to bring Jennifer Walters back to her original status quo. So we'll see what happens. But if you're willing to pay the money for this book, like I said, this is a $10 comic book. You do get 92 pages, but again, it's $10. So be ready, guys. So let's switch it over now and let's go to the book that's actually on the rise. This book was really good in the last issue, issue 6, and this one goes to Silver Coin. This is issue 7. Last issue, we had this boy who got the coin, and he became like the best video game player ever to win in the fighting game, and he wound up getting sucked up into the machine and becoming a character himself. This time, it looks like the coin is actually going to be in a possession of a gambler's hands, and it's going to make him like the best gambler ever, right? And he's going to go on this streak. However, how does it affect this guy going forward, right? What punishment does the coin give him? This book is so awesome. I love these horror books when they're done right. This one is $3.99. Let's kick off this countdown officially, and this one goes to The Death of Doctor Strange, Spider-Man issue 1. So when it comes to these tie-in books, I read Strange Academy, and I'm like, oh my god, this doesn't really tie into The Death of Doctor Strange at all. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy any more of these Doctor Strange tie-ins. However, here's kind of like the loophole around it, right? I don't care about Doctor Strange's tie-in, because if it doesn't tie into Doctor Strange, then it's going to focus around these characters more. Then I might pick this book up because it has Spider-Man, which is Ben Reilly, and Black Cat. So if it doesn't even touch on Doctor Strange, that's okay. At least I'm reading about characters I enjoy here. And also the writer is Jed MacKay on this story. So I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So let's pick this up. So we're going to see what happens in this issue. And Black Cat is by Ben's side because she's just trying to keep an eye on him, making sure he's doing things okay. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, if it doesn't talk about Doctor Strange all that much, hey, at least I got Jed MacKay writing it, and at least Black Cat's in it. And, you know, Ben Reilly's just, I guess, a bonus. This one's 36 pages. It is a $5 comic book. Let's move forward to number 9, and number 9 is King of Spies issue 1. This one is done by Mark Miller, or Mark Millar, however you want to pronounce his last name. And this book sounds interesting. This is about a secret agent who has 6 months to live. And it's not just a secret agent. It's one of the world's best secret agents. And does he die quietly in a hospital bed, or does he make up for a lifetime of bad decisions? And I'm very curious to see how this book is going to end up. It seems like an interesting concept. Mark Millar does have some good comic books out there. Sometimes his stories do get delayed or they take a long time to tell. But for the most part, I've really enjoyed some of his things that he has done. This is 40 pages, $5. Hey, moving on to number 8. And I think this is the only annual I am picking up when it comes to DC, because DC is releasing all their annuals this particular comic book week. And this one goes to Robin 2021 annual, Tale of the Tape. So the League of Lazarus has definitely introduced a ton of characters in here, right, in this Robin book. And so what this book promises is kind of a tale of the tape of all of the characters introduced. So you're going to get some more origin tales when it comes to Flatline and, of course, Respawn. And Respawn is the character that I've been really interested in since this whole thing has started. So if you're learning about the origin tale of this character, maybe this book could have significance if you're a spec person out there in the future, right? If not, it could just bring a very interesting story to see where this guy came from, what his connection is to Rose, and all things like that. So I'm going to probably buy this one. 48 pages, $6. So you can see this already is a very expensive comic book week, and I've only picked up one annual so far based off of this list. Next, coming in at number 7, this is Wonder Girl. This is issue 5. I've enjoyed Wonder Girl. I think the artwork in this book is absolutely gorgeous, and Yara has to come up with a decision whether she should stay on Earth or she should go back to Themyscira and fight alongside with her tribe, the Amazons, and it was left at that cliffhanger. And I think this is supposed to lead into something much more greater when it comes to all the Wonder Women in the future. So I love this book, and even though it was delayed, it's still a great solid read for me. So this one's 32 pages, $4. Coming in at number 6, this goes to Spawn issue 323. So here's a little description for this issue. With no more heroes living at his headquarters, Spawn is finally left alone to pursue his new goal of finding the one enemy that can give him the secret to saving his own soul. Plus, a new villain, Sin, returns, marking his first appearance since Spawn's Universe issue 1. So, Spawn has been a phenomenal read. The artwork has been absolutely gorgeous, especially in this Spawn title. I think Barberi does the artwork in this book. This is something that, if you have not jumped on board, I think around issue 300, I feel at this point now you're going to be a little bit lost. So if there's a trade that comes out that catches you up from 300 to this point, this might be the time for you, or read the Spawn Universe book to get a gist of what's going on. However, if you're a current reader of Spawn, you're probably loving this universe right now, and you love the price tag here of $3. Moving on to number 5, we have Dark Horse. Dark Hawk issue 4. Team up with Spider-Man and Captain America? Yeah, man. In the last issue, we wound up seeing Dark Hawk find out that his best friend wound up getting killed. He was aligned with the wrong people, and he went out to try to find out what was going on, who was behind the death or the killing of his friend's death, right? And he got his ass beat. Darkhawk definitely got his ass beat in the last issue, and we wound up seeing Miles Morales rescue him at the end, which I think was kind of cool. I think this book has been really good. It definitely focuses on a character who had everything and basically lost everything, and now he's struggling to learn to be a hero. And he deals with all kinds of challenges. I think this is a great book for a younger audience out there, for new comic book readers. I think this is awesome. You're definitely going to want to check this one out. This is written by Kyle Higgins. This one is 32 pages and $4. Moving on to number 4, we have Fantastic Four issue 38. So speaking of She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, it looks like she's making her appearance in this comic book as Jen Walters, as we know, as lawyer, as fun-loving, as sexy, and just the character that we know and we love. And I love that. And I love that confident character. You know, when they took that away from her and she was just this monstrous, dumb beast and scared all the time, I just could not stand that. What makes Jennifer Walters, again, is her confidence, that she stands up for herself. And she's a woman that is successful and accomplished. And you take that away and you just make her a mindless beast. It was so dumb, right? But here we have, when the description, it says, when the Wizard and the Frightful Four menace the Fantastic Four, both in and out of courtroom, it's time to call in everyone's favorite green lawyer, the sensational She-Hulk. All this and some surprise Marvel U guest stars and a new development for a member of the Richards family. So overall, the Fantastic Four, for the past few issues when I jumped on board with this, has been really good. I think Dan Slott, the one thing that he captures really well is that family dynamic, right? That's something that he lacked in the Spider-Man series. That's something that he lacked in the Iron Man series, even though he tried to develop something like that. I felt like he finally landed the book for him, and my hat's off to him. I gotta give him credit, right? So this is legacy numbering 683, 28 pages, and this is $4. Moving on to number 3, guys. The title that's going to lead into Devil's Reign, right? We have Daredevil issue 36, Lockdown part 6. We have Elektra, we have Daredevil doing battle against, of course, Bullseye. We're going to get to see, I think, like Kingpin get married to, what's her face? Typhoid Mary, and just all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. But this series has been great overall. I've read it from pretty much not the beginning. I had to actually buy a bunch of trades to catch up, and then I read the trades, got hooked, read all the way through, and it's been pretty solid all the way through since I've been reading it. And now it's leading into this big Marvel event. In fact, it's a street level Marvel event. There's Iron Fist, there's Luke Cage, there's Jessica Jones, there's just Elektra. I mean, there's all these street level characters. So if you like that part of the Marvel universe, you're really going to enjoy this event. Now, whether you collect all these different tie-ins to it is, you know, that's up to you, right? I didn't think this was going to be such a huge, extravagant event, but Marvel does what it does, right? It's trying to, you know, collect on an event. So we'll see what happens with it. This is the final issue 648 for legacy numbering, $5 price point, 36 pages. Coming in at number 2, we have Venom issue 2. This is pretty cool. I thought the first issue gave you a kind of a taste of what's going to go on. We got Eddie Brock, definitely the King in Black, promised to be dethroned. He looks like that he possibly dies and goes into some Garden of Eden thing and meets up with this weird dude, and then you wind up getting teased of this another character by the name of Bedlam, and then you wind up seeing Eddie Brock, who's struggling, not Eddie Brock, Dylan Brock, that's struggling to take care of himself, doesn't have the father figure at home, and now he's going to be forced to be Venom, right? And it looks like he's going to be grounded. So I think what this book has going for it is a good balance between the two characters, one being more ungrounded and one being more grounded, right? So if you like the grounded stuff, you'll appreciate the Dylan stuff more. If you like the cosmic stuff, maybe if that's where this goes, you might like the Eddie stuff more, or you just might like it all together. I'm very curious to see where this is all going to go. I just hope that Ewing doesn't take it to this far off distant land, like almost like Immortal Hulk did, where you're just like, what's going on here, right? But nevertheless, I'm definitely on board with this. Legacy numbering 202, 28 pages, $4. And last but not least, my favorite, or not my favorite yet, I'm already counting it out there like it is my favorite book of the week, but my most anticipated comic book of the week goes to the Me You Love in the Dark, issue 5, the conclusion to this series. My God, the last issue heated up. And it just says, Ro can no longer ignore the connection she feels to her unique housemate or the extreme and intense danger that the relationship can hold on her. So in issue 3, right, you wind up seeing the entity and Ro hook up. They've, developed a strong relationship. And then in issue 4, you find out that this ghost or this entity is very possessive of Ro, and he does not want to allow her to leave. She's been stuck in this mansion for months. She's just been doing paintings after paintings, and you wind up getting to see the person that invests in her and helps her out goes to the house and says, where you been all this time? Do you have anything to show for me? He goes into the place, he sees all these paintings, he's like, holy crap. The ghost is like, you need to leave. He tells Ro, tell him to leave, get him out of here. And you can see that like Ro is basically lost it in here. She can't stand the entity or the ghost anymore, and because the ghost has become totally possessive of her, and it's just they're always at each other's throat and everything. It's so good. Now, I had a theory in this. What if this is like The Shining in a way, where she has gone actually crazy because she's so fixated on painting all these paintings, and she's developed this manifestation in her mind that there is something with her because she was all by herself. So what if there's no ghost at all, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking, and she's just completely lost it in her brain because of all these paintings that she does, and she's stuck in this dark and gloomy house during the winter. I don't know. I could be completely off, and it definitely is an entity. Let me know in the comments below, guys. I'm curious to hear what you think about it. So guys, there you have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated comics of the week. There's some good books besides this list here that are coming out. I just couldn't name them all, but again, it's just, I'm not buying all those annuals. They're not on top of my list. And there's a couple of Spider-Man books, a couple independent books, but it's a big comic week that week. So guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell. And of course, guys, keep buying, keep collecting, and most importantly, keep reading those comic books. Guys, check out the content right here. I'll see you real soon, guys. Bye.